While primarily designed as a photography camera, the Fujifilm X100V offers video recording up to 4K 30 frames. And while it does lack some pro features, this is a very serviceable camera for video. And if you know Fujifilm cameras, then you know this would be the camera of choice for professional video work. This is the Fujifilm X-H2S, and stay tuned because we're going to be giving one of these away along with one of our new cages specially designed for it. Stick around until the end of this video for more details on that. But today we want to do a full breakdown of the camera, how we shot it, the lighting, just a full workflow breakdown.
Yeah.
And you're more familiar with the camera than I am, so.
I mean, I just use it as my personal camera for family trips, use it for photography, and it's photography, not photography. But yeah, you're right. This would have made more sense to shoot it with, which is why we're giving away this camera. This is like the ultimate video camera for Fujifilm. But we thought, why the heck not shoot with this camera? I'm always going around shooting things with this, and like, how is the video? I don't know. And we didn't even do any tests before we shot. We're just like, let's just shoot it.
Nope.
And everyone makes fun of me because I'm always like, dude, check this out, straight out of camera. Like nothing, it's my presets. And so we're like, well, let's do that for the video too. Like, let's do straight out of camera. No, nothing. So I just use my presets that I normally do on the video from like my home videos for my vacations. And we just used that for the whole thing. Didn't touch it. It was fun. Of course, we were like, how do we rig this? We don't make a cage for it or anything. It's a little camera, and I don't really think it needs a cage. And if some people out there want a cage, then let us know in the comments. But I like to keep it minimal. But we have played around with some designs, so we can tease a little bit of it right here, where we have.
Around.
If we can see some of this. So this is a little thumb holder basically with an inline bubble level, which is the same one that we have in our EDC tool. But we're also thinking about doing some shutter button functions, because that's one of the first things that I like to customize. Those might be something worth putting out. I don't know if they're interested to any of you guys. Let us know in the comments if you like those ideas, or if you have other ideas, or if you think stay away from the X100V, doesn't need anything. Then
who uses that for video?
Then just let us know. We did end up putting some things on it to make it work as more of a video thing. We did kind of a cageless rig where we had a hot shoe. I should have probably brought it up here, but we have some BTS footage where we did a hot shoe to NATO rail, so I could put a handle on there with a record trigger. Because this camera has a lot of really good video features, actually.
And to be clear, it can shoot log, but we didn't want to do that.
Yeah, this camera can do 10-bit 422 externally, can do F-log. We didn't do any of that stuff. We literally just did internal SD card, 8-bit 420, 4K 30. We did shoot 4K 30 even though we were editing at a 24 timeline, so we can conform it and get a little bit of that slow motion dreamy effect for some of the lip syncing. As I was putting it together though, I was impressed because I didn't realize it had like remote ports in, so you can do remote triggering and everything, so it's perfectly compatible with all of our side handles and top handles for triggering, which was super cool. It takes USB-C PD in, like all the new cameras do. So we powered it that way to D-tap. We used our prototype battery plate, which you guys will see more about later in December.
Yes.
And the micro HDMI worked fine. They don't really have a space for a bigger HDMI in here, but yeah, we had every port used on this thing, and it was great. It even has a little swivel, which I actually didn't even realize it had a swivel. The whole time I took photos, I've never swiveled it out. I've always I didn't realize it.
Hold it down here and you just...
Yeah, I mean, I just get down with it, you know? I don't use the viewfinder very often, but yeah, I didn't even realize until we were shooting video. I'm like, oh, I could just angle this out. But we did have another monitor on there as well. So we did kind of build out a little mini cageless rig, which worked out pretty good.
Yeah, but the battery mounted on the back of the handle, right? It was all on the handle.
Everything was on the handle, yeah. So we didn't have any weight like to damage the little cold shoe port. A lot of people don't like to do that because they think you can damage it. But if all the weight is on the handle, you're picking up the handle, then all you're picking up is the camera's weight, which is nothing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, we did have a 501 baseplate on the bottom, our new adjustable height baseplate. But yeah, and on the dovetail, that was the extent of the rig. all the cables. We did have the dovetail. We did shoot the whole thing. I was just thinking about this. We shot the whole thing on a Dana dolly and on a jib. We didn't use sticks.
We used the Orbit.
Oh, we used the Orbit. That's right.
Yeah.
But we never used sticks or handheld for anything.
No.
So it was all on the new Marvel Orbit that you can get now at condorblue.com.
Yep.
That's actually a really cool shot. We set it up in the showroom and just did a full 360 of Gabriel doing his Elvis thing.
Sorry about we got him to do that.
Yeah, but that was fun actually, because on the Orbit, we hung this on one side, and on the other side, we needed some counterweight. So we put like other cameras that we had. I think we had like a Nikon table and used that in the back as a counterweight. And then we also put a little LED light on the back to give you or not you, but to give Gabe backlight the whole time. So he was backlit as the whole thing was turning. It was a cool rig, and we're actually gonna leave it. It was so cool. We're just leaving it in the showroom. So if anyone ever wants to come by and check it out, it's gonna stay there.
We actually did a couple parts where we shot 120 frames on this. We did have to downscale to 1080 though.
Yeah, so the 120 on this, you have to go down to 1080. But other than that, like there's no crop. Like some modern, like this camera, I don't know if this camera does, but like some of the cameras we're shooting on will crop if you go to 120 or something else like that in the sensor. And like the Reds even do that. Most of the Reds will still do that. But yeah, this thing shot the same frame at 120, and then the footage which you guys will see, Evan was our editor. He told me, he's like, dude, there's no noise, there's nothing to differentiate. You put it on a 4K timeline and blow it up, it looks perfectly good, like nobody would be able to tell. We even are gonna project it in the screening room later for everyone to see, and I doubt anyone would be able to notice the difference.
That'll be at the end of the video. We will be showing you guys the final result, and we screened it to our entire team here and filmed their reactions. So it'll be pretty fun.
This is honestly a pretty powerful camera. It can do 10-bit 422. We didn't even do that because it can do F-Log, it can do 10-bit, it can do 422, HDMI out. We just went straight to the SD card, recorded only 8-bit 420, and baked in the look because we didn't need a grader or anything, so it doesn't really matter what kind of bit depth we're on. But you could do so much more than what we did, and just what we did alone already looks totally usable. You could literally use this in so many different professional client work. Now, whether you're going to be made fun of for bringing out this little dainty camera is another story. But yeah, I mean, you guys will have to tell us what you think of the results, but completely untouched and ungraded. I think it was a super powerful camera. It has everything you need. Is it perfect?
No, definitely not.
Is any camera perfect?
No.
That's the thing. So there's always going to be little quirks. The only real thing that inhibited us a little bit was the overheating. So we did have overheating. Running 4K 30 DCI. It did overheat after several long takes because since the music video we're doing like the full 2-minute song or whatever, and it can.
I'm like in the closet watching the Orbit shot, and I see it go by, and I see the little thing pop up that says it's overheating.
Yeah,
just like watching out the window.
Yeah, that was the only thing that would stop us because it literally would shut the camera off by itself. The first few times it just told us, but then after a while it just turns itself off. But like you just wait less than 30 seconds, turn it back on, and you have a whole nother take in there. So like it's not terrible, but it did slow us down a little bit in that case. One thing that people don't ever really talk about is the built-in ND filter.
Yes.
Like this, I use it all the time for photo, but it actually works in video too. There was a firmware update that allowed you to now use it in video mode. So you got built-in ND filters on this thing. You don't have built-in ND filters on that or that or that or that or
Red Komodos don't even have built-in.
Komodo doesn't have it. So this little guy has built-in ND for video and for photo. That's actually super huge because you're keeping everything small. You're not adding things on top of the lens. I mean, I have this square hood on here for looks mostly and to hold my filter. But look how little this is, and it's got built-in NDs. So super cool. One little annoying random thing with the body is that the 1/4-20 on the bottom is not centered with the lens. It's off to the side, and it's so close to this battery door that means you can't really get access to your battery if you're mounting it on a tripod or a 501 plate or anything. You can't get your card out. The battery wasn't an issue for us because we're running PD power in with our Condor Blue cables, but To be able to change cards or to dump cards, you had to take the whole rig off, which we just used the same card for the whole shoot. It didn't matter, but we did have to de-rig it once we went to get all our footage off. So,
Because we also use diffusion, right, on the shoot?
yeah, so we had a quarter pro mist in front of the lens at all times just to screw on probably the Tiffin. So we had that on the whole time, so it was a little bit softer. Because since we were going straight out of camera, we weren't grading, we weren't doing anything, we weren't adjusting any of that. We want to get rid of a little bit of the video look that might come with it. So with a little bit of softness, you can barely even tell in the footage, but it just cuts away some of that to give you a little bit more softer, not so contrasty look. I mean, regardless whether you do grading, lighting is going to be more important than any camera you choose as well, right? That's right. We had the Infinity bars, we have the Nanlite Pavo tubes. We also use the iFootage lights. Those really nice new panels. Our main key was the iFootage anglerfish. I think it was the
300?
320. Yeah, definitely lighting is going to be way more important than what camera you use or anything else, because that's going to shape overall your whole frame. And like you said, since we weren't color grading and we decided, hey, we're going straight out of camera, we honestly didn't do more than we would have done anyways, but we did make sure it's like, hey, this looks great, we won't have to touch it later. Like the exposure is going to be spot on, the background, there's no power windows, there's no grading at all, there's no contrast, no curves. That's one thing I kind of wanted to do, because we did use fog in several of the scenes, and so sometimes when you use fog between different shots, it could be a different level of thickness of the fog, which means different level of blacks. So I kind of wanted to just level out the blacks in every shot, but then that kind of gets in the way of the whole straight out of camera thing, so we just left it. But for me, when I'm watching, I'm like, I would have crushed those blacks right there a little bit and put a little curve on it or something. But
like we said before, we didn't really do anything.
Yeah, so the whole idea is straight out of camera, so there was no need to do much in the edit. I mean, we didn't edit it, Evan edited it, so he might have something to say. Hey, Evan! So you actually cut this. Were there any challenges, or what was it like?
Not really. We just kind of put everything in the timeline, made the cuts we wanted to make, and that's it. You know?
Yeah, see, that's it. Get out.
Yeah, we are gonna show the final result here in a second, but first I wanted to kind of explain more about the contest that we're doing here. So the whole point of this is we're officially launching our Blue Christmas event, and we're gonna be releasing a new product every week for the month of December.
Every Friday.
Every Friday, yeah. So the day after this video airs is our first product, which technically you've already seen already. XH2 and XH2S cage. So definitely check that video out. I kind of briefly go over like all the features of it and like why it's one of our best cages ever and what makes our Fuji cage lineup so unique. Actually, we're also giving away $500 every week, right?
Yeah. So Blue Christmas is going to be great. Last year we did the 12 weeks of Christmas, which was awesome. This year we're doing Blue Christmas, which is just December. So every Friday there's the new product. There's a $500 gift card to Condor Blue that we're giving away every single week. So there's a lot of ways to enter, whether it's commenting or liking things, or even if you buy something on the website, you get additional points. And obviously, if you enter the contest and make a video, you get a big chunk of points as well. But every week there's a winner.
Yep.
And then at the end of Christmas, then we have the big contest to see who gets the free camera.
Yeah, and to win this, you have to make a Blue Christmas music video.
Yep.
It's got to be at least 20 seconds long, and just creatively incorporate Condor Blue. Post it on social media. It can be Instagram, TikTok. Be sure to tag us and use hashtag Condor Blue Christmas on your posts. And from there, we're just going to get the whole team together and we're going to vote on our favorite one. And like you said before, we're probably going to have a guest judge with us as well. So
yeah, if we get a lot of good ones, we're probably going to do like honorary like awards and second and third place awards, and they're all going to be worth your time.
Yeah.
We're probably gonna do some reacts videos to make some content out of it, because we just had such a good time making our own music video and showing it internally to the whole team and just getting a laugh at it. That I think this is gonna be fun for us to just watch everybody else's videos.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and that was the whole point of this, is to hopefully provide some inspiration for you guys. And you don't need a red. You can use whatever camera you got. You're not being judged on your cinematography. And we encourage you guys to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of these. And if you guys like this type of content and you want to see more stuff like this, definitely let us know. And like you were saying earlier, if there's any accessories maybe you want to see for the X100V. Yeah, it's...
Or any of the other cool Fujifilm cameras like the X-T30 or whatever else, where you can kind of customize shutter buttons and things. Or any of the smaller cameras, if there's ideas out there or needs, let us know.
Yeah, definitely. So I guess without further ado, we should take a look at this video.
See this crazy thing that we put together. Yeah. Oh, man. Of course, he had to be the last one. We're gonna cut before you even come in. Okay.
I'll have a blue Christmas with you. I'll be so blue just thinking about you. Decorations of red on a blue Christmas tree won't be the same, dear, if you're not here with me. And when those blue cables stop falling, oh, that's when those blue memories start calling. You'll be doing alright with your Christmas of white, but I have a blue, a condor blue Christmas.
So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I know around here, the first reaction is, are you serious? You didn't color grade it? You didn't change anything? There was no editing in terms of manipulating the image? And the answer is, yeah, that's kind of the whole point. We wanted to shoot straight out of camera like the Fuji X100V is known for on the still side. And the next question is, what presets did you use, or what recipe, X100V recipe? It's all based on recipe that I just played with my own camera this summer as we were doing trips with the family, and have it really dialed in. And we're gonna have those all available on the Condor Blue website. So there's a section called LUTs, and we'll just put it there because it's not really a LUT, but it's a look, it's a preset. I think that would work. So if you're interested in getting the presets or the LUTs or the recipe for the X100V that we used on this video, you can check that out on the website, and the download links in the description. We'll have them for the stills and for the video look, and it's exactly what we used for this whole thing.
Yep.
I also think we could probably dive in, now that they've seen it, maybe just do a quick recap on some of the cool shots.
Yeah, let's take a look at it.
I'll have a blue.
So right off the bat, you guys are probably going to notice the snow, which if you pause it like here, right here, like I did, you'll see there's some really big chunky ones. It's a snow machine that we've had for years. I've had it from old projects, and we only bring it out now like once a year just for these Christmas music videos.
Yeah.
We did it last year, and there was a funny shot. I think actually it was this very first take that we used. where we could only use like the first 10 seconds because Gabe like inhaled.
Yeah, that's right.
He inhaled the bubbles and he started choking.
Poor Gabe.
So but we got the first shot. So.
He went through the ringer on this one.
They think this is a joke. This is how I really feel about the bird.
But yeah, what did we do lighting wise on that? Let me go back because that's mainly the main setup is this first shot, right? So we talked about the light that was on him was the main
Yeah, it's just an overhead with a lantern.
320 DN, I think,
Yeah,
anglerfish
anglerfish.
footage.
And then you'll notice just the background, there's that RGB panel back there. So instead of like putting like a rim light on him and like behind him, we just have a light in the background, which just kind of separates him a little bit.
Yep, and there is some fog as well, some very, very light fog. It's a huge warehouse, so it would take a lot to fill it up. But
Christmas with you.
I don't know what to say about those shots.
Yeah.
These shots are really nice. These are some of my favorite shots.
These came out way better than I thought they would. I just saw.
Who picked out those jackets?
That was me.
That was you?
I picked out the jackets. Yeah.
Excellent, man.
We wanted like the original idea was tuxes, but I was like, well, let's get something a bit flashier since the whole idea was to be ridiculous,
over
and
the top.
hilarious. Yeah, and super over the top. And it ended up working out so much better than I could have hoped.
Do you know we are behind the scenes? Elvis, where's Elvis? Where's my daddy at?
The sequins are perfect. They're blue. And we just found these on Amazon. Like, we do that a lot for our videos, actually, like for costumes and
Get
stuff.
some props on Amazon.
Yeah.
Look at the glasses too, bro.
Yeah, those are our glasses, by the way.
The Condor Blue sunglasses 2023.
Yep.
If you haven't picked them up, I think they are. They're usually giveaways at events.
Yeah.
But if you wanted one, they're online. But yeah, they're just reflecting perfectly with those suits.
It works so good. It has this like really kind of vintage look to it too, which works really well. Is that something you put into the?
Well,
grade?
it's just the well, there is no grade,
Yeah,
right?
well, your preset.
The preset has a little bit more of a warm feel to it
Okay.
already, but then when you add all the blues and then you add the quarter mist, that kind of really softens it out. You can see that in here, but then there's some other shots I think I'll pause it on later where I really want to focus on the skin tones because it's one thing to not grade something, but sometimes even on footage and cameras that look really great out of the box, whenever you get some skin tones and some close-ups on people, that's when you're like, oh, okay, we need to tweak this. It's not looking real. These colors are just so dialed that all our skin tones look so good straight out of the camera. We have some tubes on the floor in this setup. So we got the aperture infinity bars on the bottom.
So just thinking about you.
Yeah, so this is just the showroom. In this shot, I can't remember. I think I cranked up the ISO on the camera the most that we did in the whole shoot for right here. I think we were at, oh man, I can't remember. I feel like we shot something like way up in the thousands. I don't know if it was this or not, but it must have because it was only really lit by the blue glow on the sign right there.
Where's this part up and the like this right here? Is there any other lights? Because it looks like there's one above it shining down.
We have the red in the background because that's from a tube, and then we do have a green that you can see.
Oh yeah, the
underneath
green over here. Yeah.
That's on the left. The blue is coming a little bit from the top because we did just magnetize one to the ceiling tiles.
Right.
And then
that's one thing I like about the infinity bars. This is all infinity bars, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
We didn't use any cobs or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. The magnets on those, super nice.
Yeah, and our showroom is full of like magnet or steel pipes and things, so we can just magnetize it to anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it came out really good. The one thing that impressed me is there's no noise in any of these shots.
No, I
like
was
we
gonna say
haven't
that.
touched any of it.
No.
There's zero noise, even at the 120 frames that we'll get to.
Decoration.
This is nice. I'm gonna try to stop it right on the flare. A little twinkle right there.
Yeah. Right here.
Like, yeah. You get these little. Look at the bokeh over there.
Yeah, that's nice. So we had like a little one of the smaller infinity bars, right? We were just like Hollywooding it, just holding it up.
Yeah,
And
Evan
then
was just holding it.
And I think Evan also just like had a flashlight from his
Mm-hmm.
pocket and was just shining it on this because it produced these really good shiny parts.
Yeah, he just had a flashlight that day.
Yeah.
And he just happened to like hit it, and we're like, "Ooh, that looked good.
Yeah.
Put it there again." And like he purposely hit that tinsel right there, so that it would kind of shine and glow with the diffusion filter that we had in there.
Yeah.
But this is also interesting because this whole thing was autofocus. The whole shoot, we just shot it on the autofocus, never touched it, and I mean, it did pretty dang good. It's not really a camera known for autofocus for video.
I mean, you had to like redo a couple takes, I think.
Yeah,
times.
specifically in this shot.
Yeah.
Or actually, it was the next shot when he goes for the presents.
Yeah.
There was like a big range, and we had to wait for the autofocus to get there.
Yeah.
But
All the blue
this one right here,
Christmas tree.
you can see that
Whoa, baby.
autofocus. This is where I want to pause it because look at these skin tones.
Yeah.
Like, look at
That
that.
looks great.
There's no anything going on here. It's just
I like.
camera and the presets.
Yeah, I like what you do with your presets. Your reds are pretty orange, which I think is like what I was noticing before.
It's part of the whole like warming up the whole image thing. But yeah, it is. That's the reds are actually a really interesting thing to note in general on any camera when you're shooting different cameras. Out of all the colors, reds are usually the ones that are going to be like the most drastically different. Like if you just line up a bunch of cameras and shoot the same colors, reds are usually where you're going to see a lot of shifts. So it's interesting to see where Fuji goes on the. Of course, I have a whole bunch of presets built into this, so it's warmer than a regular Fuji stock. But yeah, just pausing on this because there's so many colors that you can see in here. We got the deep white bokeh on the back on the shelves from our showroom, the Christmas light bokeh.
Yeah.
They look pretty circular. I mean, there's some corners, but we shot it all pretty much wide open too at a 2.0. I don't think we ever stopped down because we wanted that really soft feel.
Yeah.
I did though on these shots purposefully drop the ISO. Okay. So that probably helped us on the 120 because I purposely went down and even changed the DR setting down to DR 100 so I can drop down to the ISO. I think we were at like a 200 or something, so that I could get cleaner darks. But I mean, still, that's something you would do if you know what you're doing, and it looks great.
Start following.
It's 1080. It's 1080 so
Oh, that's when those blue.
I go back because it's just like this is where the diffusion filter feels really good because all those shines on their jackets, like all this stuff just starts feeling so nice with the little quartered pro mist.
Memory start calling. Or you'll be due.
And this is the Orbit.
Yeah.
The model Orbit that Josh Shio designed.
Where you will create.
Did a whole 360 on. Want to go back to that real quick so we can look at that?
It's not too.
We have some good BTS on that you probably saw already, but
Yeah, you were just like following
I was running
the camera around.
I was getting
in a
kind of
circle.
dizzy.
Yeah, I was like hiding in this back
That's
room
you.
back here. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm right there. Yeah, it's the Orbit's so smooth. I mean, I think if you find a place to put it, it looks incredible.
Because it's not like high maintenance either.
No.
Like once it stops shaking, like you put it up, it takes a few seconds for it to just stop moving.
level out.
Turn it on, it's so smooth. Like we didn't spend too much time trying to balance it. Really.
I like that it has a built-in light too. So like some of
That's
this,
true. This
yeah.
is all lit by
Yeah.
the Orbit light, the
Yep.
ring light. I wish that ring light was a little stronger.
Yeah,
So we have it right now over our table. I wish it could hit our products a little harder. But for a person like this, it's perfect. And this is one of the shots where I would want it to cheat. I wanted to bring the blacks down a little and like do some S-curve on it and bring the highs, just put some more contrast in there because there's so much fog in that room that it kind of diffused it all a little bit.
Yeah.
It's one of the shots that I kind of wanted to cheat on. But yeah, you can see the 360 view of our showroom. And that was just a ridiculous shot.
the snow angel with the products.
Gabe dancing in the background. Yeah,
There
again,
it is.
this is 120, 1080. everything is black. There's no noise. There's nothing moving around or anything. It's so clean.
The glasses come off.
Yeah.
Yeah, all we had was just that
We
320.
went outside for that.
Yeah, this was outside, right outside right behind our warehouse.
Yeah.
But we just had the RGB panel back here and the Cobb 320 anglerfish right here, and that was it. See it nicely on his arm here.
Yep.
Makes the water look all nice and pretty.
We did turn that light as hot as it goes, 100% on the main key light, so that we could get all the background to be like no lights, to be black.
Yeah.
So because we were going from the warehouse to outside, and in real life, like if we would have kept the same settings outside, you could see like some airplanes flying by and some
There's buildings
buildings and
behind
stuff.
us too.
So yeah. So we brought. And this is another one where I had the ISO really low, and then I had just blasted the light as hard as it could. So.
Yeah.
And this backlit with the blue, which makes it stand out really nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's really just some simple tricks, and, you know, if you just kind of know what you're doing, knowing your camera is really important. Like, and knowing your
Though,
settings.
because I've never shot any video really on that.
Well,
so it's like,
you're
I mean, knowing the cinematography
Yeah.
is one thing, but I didn't touch anything other than, I mean, I left the camera wide open.
Yeah.
We had our Pro Mist, but the only thing we changed was the ISO and the frame rate in certain shots, just to make sure we were getting cleanest, because I'd never shot with it before, so I just wanted to be careful with it.
Yeah.
But I
It
mean,
looks
it's
amazing.
just, you know, the basics, and the menus are actually nice. I like the Fuji menus a lot. But yeah, that was cool. Just a couple things in case you guys would have had some questions on how we shot it or particular shots. I hope we covered through most of these. It's our warehouse.
Did you do your shutter speed trick that you do? No, it's not a trick. You just...
Yeah, no, I normally shoot a little bit faster shutter speed just to keep it a little more crisp. This was all shot slow motion, so it doesn't really matter that much. It was faster, but you don't really get as much of that effect because we were already shooting slow motion and then bringing it down. But yeah, normally I'm at 144 degrees on the shutter, just because especially when you pause it,
Yeah.
it helps to get more screen grabs.
Yeah.
And it also just a little crisper and sharper. That 180, I feel like it just gets a little too soft. But everyone shoots 180, so except for me.
Yeah, and if you guys have any questions about any of these shots or any part of the process, definitely ask us in the comments. We try and be as active as possible in answering any questions that we can.
Yeah, it was fun, and we'll probably do some more. This is the second Christmas music video in a row, and see what we come up with next year. But
Yeah.
a lot more cool projects coming next year as well.
Yep.
Don't forget to enter your own music video and win this camera right there. And we'll see you Friday. Peace. Action.
Oh, God. That is cool.
I'd call that a success.
Woo! Oh my gosh,
That's a wrap. That's a wrap.